Hey, it's the man about 83. And if you just got out of prison, I got to tell you something. Guess what? You going right back. Why? I'm going to tell you in a minute. Hopefully I got your attention because this is something that's very important to your survival and staying out of prison. Most people go back to prison because, one, they don't have a plan. But it don't even matter. You ain't got to have a plan because a lot of times the plans you make in prison never pan out when you come out. Because why? The information we receive in there is outdated, so we can't really formulate a good plan for us to succeed out here. But it's a whole lot of factors that's going to contribute to you going back to prison. Now, the good part about that, one of the main contributors to you going back to prison is you. You the main cause of you going back to prison. Don't blame it on the outside force because you're in control of everything you do. And everything you do, you better be in knowing what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, where you're going to do it, yada, yada, yada. It's not too late for you to formulate your plan. You need to sit down and write out your plan. What are you planning to do? What are you trying to accomplish? What do you need to have in order to accomplish what you want? Now, separate your needs from your wants. That's like something that you should have did in prison. But if you ain't did in prison, it's not too late. Learn the difference between your needs. Needs are things that you need. You can't do without. Wants are things that you can do without. You just want to have them. So separate your needs from your wants. Then figure out the things that you need, right? Write down in your plan how you're going to accomplish getting these things that you need. Whether it be your social security card, your driver's license, a job, because a lot of times when you get out, you're on some type of probation, supervised release, and that person that's in charge of you, your officer, supervised release officer, your parole officer, probation officer, they're going to require that you get a job because in society it's deemed that a person that's working is less likely to get in trouble. Now, we know that a person working get in trouble just as much as a person that's not working. And we also know that we can work for ourselves, but according to the system, they don't want you working for yourself because they figure like you have too much time. You know, they're going off of what society deems is right. And until you get into that next phase of your life, the free stage of your life, you have to follow these rules until you get out of that. I call it the cost of being in trouble. Okay, now you got your plan wrote down and you got it executed. You got it like a road. It's basically a roadmap for you to get to success. Now, if you don't follow that plan, you're going back to jail more than likely. Because once you start just freestyling, all kind of other stuff gonna come into that freestyle. See, that plan is like that road. You stay on that road, you don't stray off the road, you don't get off into the grass, the mud, the rocks. You stay on that road. You stay on that path. But when you just freestyling, you subject and all kind of stuff come up. If you ain't sticking to your plan, you might dive off into something that's contradictory to your plan, contradictory to your well-being, contradictory to your freedom. So stick to the plan. One of the other things that's going to cause you to go back to prison is not changing your environment. If you knew you was in an unstable environment, if you was hanging around, or let's just say you was living in a place where it was a whole bunch of temptations that lead you into going back to prison for whatever you did. If you stayed in a house full of bank robbers and you wound up committing a bank robbery, why would you go back to the house with the bank robbers? If you was doing drugs and you hung in a house or a neighborhood or area or an environment where drug use was real deep, prevalent, why would you go back to that same environment? That's dumb. Come on, man. That's going to lead you right back to prison. Hanging in the same environments, being around the same people, is going to lead you back to the same things. That thing is prison. And that's what you're trying not to do. So change your environment, change your surroundings. Are you going back? Other reason why you going back to prison, you ain't changed. You got to change. If you was a person that liked to sleep in late, start waking up early. If you was a person that was always the life of the party, stop going to the party. You got to change because what led you to prison, if you keep doing the same things you was doing, guess where you're going? It's going to lead you right back to prison. one way or another. You might be doing something different, but it's going to lead you back to doing the same thing that led you to prison. Come on, man. Use your head. Come on, ladies. Use your brains. A lot of times what I see too, people, they be in prison and they be complaining about their friends. You know, they talking about, oh man, he ain't look out for me. He doing this, he doing that. Why would you get out and hang with them people again? Why? It's a no-brainer where you're going. Back to prison. Yep, because you're doing the same old things, hanging with the same old people. It's going to lead you to the same old places. You can't follow a path and think it's going to lead you to somewhere different. If you keep following that same path and it's leading you to the same place, that's the definition of insanity. Doing the same things and expecting different results. So come on, y'all. Man, please listen to me. Please listen to me. Please believe that what I'm talking about is real. Because that's all I want to see. I want to see y'all make it. I want to see y'all be successful. That's what it's all about with the successful convict movement. I want to see everybody be successful getting out of prison because we go-getters. We don't just sit back and say, oh, man, I wish that. No, we go do it. And a lot of times our drive and our dedication and our pulling the triggerness, not literally. For some of y'all, it was literally, but I'm just saying, us convict, you know, we go do that stuff. That's what led us to prison. We got the right idea. We just had the wrong plan. Keep the same idea. Keep that same drive and be successful. You can do it. But right now, what I want you to do is subscribe to this channel. Leave me a comment on this video and what you think. And if you ain't been to prison, man, please, I want to hear your comment. Because those who haven't been in, you have a whole nother outlook on us who have been in. And we like to know your outlook. We want to know what y'all think about us. We want to know some of y'all myths and what do y'all think. You know, a lot of times people ask me some crazy questions about what going on in prison. I want to hear that type of stuff. Leave a comment. And whatever you do, don't forget to like or dislike this video. Because I welcome dislikes as well. As long as you keep it respectable, it's all good.